get the comments up here as well. Good man.
Hello, and welcome to Gers TV. My name is Sally Leslie.
I'm Vivian.
I'm Gordon.
Specky Sally Leslie tonight. Guys, first of all, if you could just do us a wee favour and give us as many shares as possible, because we'll be too busy to share there, we'll do other stuff, and we need some shares out. If you could put the shares out, that would be fantastic. Mainly just going to talk about the game tonight. Before I do that, I'll just ask everybody, how was your weekend?
We didn't actually rehearse it either. That's the worst and best
That's
thing.
what makes it original.
On you go, Viv.
Don't know, I ended up having to go on the Red Raskin drinks in Oswald's
Oh, that's what they were called.
Sunday after that performance. That was a great weekend, apart from, obviously, the elephant in the room.
No, that's Lewis. Oh, no, that's actually a dog. It's not an elephant, it's a dog. We'll get this right one week.
Anyway, put your trunk away.
I had my Friday to Sunday, mid lunchtime, mid afternoon was brilliant. I was on a stag weekend with a lot of friends and family, and then obviously the game comes and goes, and great atmosphere created by the Rangers fans, got to say, brilliant atmosphere. And then we reverted to type, and the goal we lost was just don't want to swear or anything like that. Just symptomatic of our season, I think. And then we couldn't get the goal, we couldn't come back into the game. So, all in all, but then after the game, met obviously you guys at Oswald's, etc. And, we're still Rangers fans, so it was good to catch up with family over the weekend and obviously friends as well. So
It looks like there's a wee error on the Facebook, you know, doesn't there?
all in all, the football kind of spoiled it a little bit, but never mind.
Guys, just having a chat now for a minute. I'm just going to check what's going on here.
Guys, we are having a little bit of technical problems as is the usual on the Gers TV, but it's all fun and games, so don't worry. So obviously we understand that passion is where we're running high tonight. We do get that, we do understand that. Always be respectful, that's all we ask, is we be respectful to each other and what we're saying as well. Okay? So we'll just wait for Simon to come back.
Facebook's playing up tonight. I don't know if it's your Facebook's or everybody's. Aye, so just from myself's point of view, I had a lot of people to thank you the weekend. It was great to catch up with people, but I'll wait to get the feet up and get the Facebook going.
While we're waiting, we'll mention quickly that our academy director, Craig Mulholland, has announced he's leaving the club. I think we'll all agree that Craig Mulholland's done a fantastic job, so it's quite surprising to see him go. But obviously there's things happening behind the scenes at Rangers with Ross Wilson away and Stuart Robertson away. Obviously the chairman Pat went away as well, and now Craig Mulholland, so different things happening behind the scenes, so we need to see what the situation is there.
Right, so I'm just going to check my Facebook. I don't know if Facebook's just playing up tonight, guys, and if it's us. I don't see it tell me. It's told me they're going to send me a message and haven't they?
Right, I'm having some difficulty as well.
This is represented, so it should go live in a second. Right, I think the Bluebells might be playing again. Let's see, reconnect. Shouldn't have been alright, guys. It's just for some reason Facebook has gave us grief over I saw something a couple of days ago. That was right, okay. So, right, we're streaming on the Gers TV official. It's this one I need to get on the main page. send a record to my phone and then pass my phone up. See if this will work just to get us back on because it's better video.
Okay, guys, we are having some difficulty at the moment. Okay, so bear with us.
Code 304. At least the dog's making noise, huh?
Okay, yeah, we are aware of one or two little issues at the moment. Okay, so we're fixing them as we speak. Okay, so we will go back to talk about the game and the weekend very shortly. So please bear with us.
Right, I'll just try to reach people on the main page because that's where most people watch us from. Should buzz now. Remember this is Gers TV. Are you live?
Appreciate your patience, folks. Patience, even. Will be a minute or two.
Doesn't want to reconnect. Continues trying to reconnect. I think we're getting on the right. Just a second. I've seen this saying sending data. Either that or we're going to have to just go over YouTube, I think, and put it on the Facebook page or something. But it's getting any use on the page now.
Is it worth maybe restarting everything?
Yes.
Sunday, but no, I wouldn't take too much. We can see if we just put the website on it for people. In fact, I can do it here. Seconds. Just so people know it's on. I know it's not. I'll have to tell you the bleeding obvious. Right, got the link up. So copy and I'll put it on the Just TV page. So, no, what I don't do this days. Right, just post it on there now.
I better just shut everything down and
Right,
restart.
we can, I don't think it'll go in.
What?
Something like the Facebook's logged us all out. So,
We're all back in now, I think.
right, I can put the live stream on here for people to see. That's all we can do. Aye, it's all started. I don't know what happened there, but it's just kicked everything back in. But right, so that's the best we can do here. Is there people on?
Yeah, I mean we are.
I've got live, but we're only on YouTube, I think.
I don't think we're live through Facebook.
We'll find it in a minute. So we'll just continue with the show now because it's recording anyway, and then we can keep it on for later on. Good for that, guys.
Yeah.
Just want to see comments and that can back up. Just a chat. Just chat. Just have it Aye, there's people watching anyway. They're watching for the lower amount of people watching than usual, but the more people watch it through the page, you know, is the best. Anyway, so that's all we can do. I'm not got my glasses anywhere. Right, guys. I went to the Together UK conference on Friday night. Met a lot of businessmen, politicians, and Rangers fans, and just to say thank you to everyone that I met there for the invite. and for the support to the Gers TV. Saturday night, Bristol Bar, and then I went to Mr Singh's. Great weekend. Unfortunately, when I went to corporate on Sunday for the match, the game was rotten. And once again, Rangers let their fans from all over the world down. Do you agree with that, guys?
Absolutely.
Sorry, I was hoping you might say more than one word.
Well, I did a
Is
speech
there
here.
anything else to say?
No, no, that's it. Show over. Well, sorry, just give us a wee minute to get back into things. I think that it was a great weekend for all of us, different ways, but I think the game's really knocked us for six because we need to be honest with ourselves and say that. Again, I think it was a good friend David Hurd pointing out a few weeks ago after the last game. His phrase was, "Winners find a way to win and losers find a way to lose," and unfortunately we found a way to lose again. Again, not much in the teams, but for our front three were abysmal, and even the changes that came on. I think Scotty Arfield came on and did well, but
Matondo was quite bright off the bench.
Matondo's come on, done well, but unfortunately we went with Tillman, Ken and Morelos, and they didn't kick a ball as far as I'm concerned. If you disagree, that's fine. That's what it's all about. But
100% agree.
didn't kick a ball the whole game.
A lot of times when
Didn't want to be there.
a lot of times in football, when you get beat, people say we were unlucky. I would say the Rangers team today, most of them are lucky, and the reason I say that, they're lucky that they're still playing for our club, because their performances, their attitude, and their concentration is abysmal. Their professionalism is a disgrace. I don't believe Celtic went out of second gear, if I'm being honest. I think they cruised the game. They did very little because they didn't have to do much. They knew that Rangers were going to make a mistake, and we made the same mistake as always. We shut up shop.
We made it easy for them.
We stopped defending, and they walked the ball in the net more or less with a nice cross.
I think if
And
you
the
analyse,
goalkeepers get no chance.
I think if you analyse the goal, just in the couple of seconds before the foul or no foul, there was a chance for us to clear it. If you watch it back, there was a chance for us to clear it before it even happened. Didn't clear it. Then, okay, is it a foul? Is it not a foul? But you're taught when you're 6 years old, you play the whistle, and it's a picture. You see Ken, Rask, and Barisic all looking at each other, wanting somebody else to take responsibility, and then breaking the ball, they get the cross into the box. You've got Golson and Davis marking nobody. You've got Tavernier who's completely switched off and let Jota drift in.
Yep.
And you've got McGregor who has not came for the ball. The ball it's not a fast delivery. It's a kind of overhanging ball with hands in the air, and then it's not far from the 6 yard line. So even McGregor could have. So there's I count seven Rangers players that have contributed to losing the goal. 7 players.
Yep. Also, the first thing that you learn in football anywhere in the world, as a boy, the very first thing you learn is play to the whistle. And our players again have stopped at a decision, hoping for a referee decision or VAR to kick in, and Celtic have played to the whistle. And when you play to the whistle, most of the time you're going to get the advantage and you're going to get the result you want. For professional players to stop and hope the referee makes a decision in this day and age is ridiculous. You know that if you play on and it is a foul, either way, that the referee will come back and award it. You don't stop. The defence, in my opinion, there's too many mistakes. The only person that I actually feel sorry for in the defence just now is Suter. I'm not so sure he deserved to be dropped at the weekend. As for the rest of them, it wouldn't bother me if every one of them was. We probably can't afford to get rid of them all, but I wouldn't miss any of them if they went. The defence is not good enough, and it's been the same mistakes for a year.
So basically, Celtic never beat Rangers. Rangers beat Rangers.
Well, I wouldn't take. At the same time, I don't want to see my bad loser. I wouldn't take it away from them. They did what they need to do. That's the bottom line. They did. It might have been the basics, but the basics were enough to beat us because we're good at beating ourselves as well.
Yeah.
If you go through that team, which we'll probably do in another show before the end of the season, and we go through the squad, we would probably all agree on the majority of it could leave and we wouldn't miss them, because this team, as Michael Beale said, needs the biggest shake-up since a rebuild in modern day history. Too much failure with a captain who's accustomed to losing. Good player, yes, but he's not a great player. We have centre halves that make mistakes every week. Borna Barisic, is he really getting any better? I don't think he is. That's just the defence before you even start with the rest of the team. Midfield wise, I don't want to criticise too much. I thought Lundstrom played well. Cantwell, in my opinion, was the man of the match. Strikers, the miss that Sakala missed was identical to the miss that he missed the last time.
Pretty much.
And the difference with the two teams at the weekend was, if that chance had fell to any of the Celtic strikers or attackers, they would have scored the goal. I don't think for a minute they would have missed it.
I think there's too much to say about Sakala. I think that is as rotten as a performance gets, to be honest. I'm running out of words to say about him. I think he had a good spell of form once Beale came in.
Yeah.
And the last few games has just proven why he's got to be one of the first out the door. I mean, I don't know if you saw the clip where we made a lovely...
Just about talk about it.
A lovely build-up from the defence
Yep.
up into the midfield onto the wing play. Sakala gets the ball, first touch, puts it to the side of his man and just absolutely blazes it over the bar. And it was going to be a cross.
There was another thing that there's an old joke in football. You nearly hit the corner flag. He actually hit a shot and it missed the corner flag and went out for a shy.
It wasn't from like the touchline. It was from, like, near the edge of the box, I'm sure, which is
It was
even
from
worse.
the corner of the box, and he
From
hit
one
it
side to
so
another.
badly that it didn't even. I'd be fine if it went out for a goal kick in any form, but it curved
The
so
wrong
far
way.
out.
Aye.
It went.
It was almost comical. See, if it wasn't such a big game, you could laugh.
Yeah.
But it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
The attack simply isn't good enough. They don't have enough composure. And every one of our strikers appear to have the same problem as well. See, when they've got a few seconds to think, they make a mistake. Morelos, in my opinion, doesn't want to be with Rangers anymore.
No.
Kent doesn't want to be there, so I wouldn't give them any more games. I think it's time to get the young boys in. I know people might not like that, but there's nothing to play for. And the young boys have got something to play for. If Lovelace is as big a prospect as we were told, give the lad a chance till the end of the season. And I mean, all the games, even the Old Firm game at Ibrox, I wouldn't even give, with the money that professional football players get nowadays and the lifestyles that they get, they should at least give the fans something back. And what's going to happen is they'll probably give Kent and Morelos a lap of honour and they'll tell us how great they were and videos of their career on the screens. I wouldn't give them that personally. I would drop them out of the team completely to the forever now, and I would start the rebuild just now. It's time to move on, and if you don't want to play for us, you shouldn't be in that squad.
A difference between us and other teams in the league, and other team, every team in the world, is we give players their place in the team based off of stuff that they've done 3 years ago, rather than how they're playing now, where their mindset is now. What is Kent, Morelos, McGregor? I think those are the big ones. What have they done in the last 3 months that warrant any game time at all? I mean,
But they're still getting it.
yeah, exactly. I think the last time Kent got a goal or an assist was Kelly away. Morelos scored 2 goals to beat a St Mirren side that were already beat, and the players aren't warranting their game time.
They're no danger. That's one of the biggest
Yeah.
problems. A striker should be a danger. They're not a danger.
Yeah.
We need to get a new defence. We need a rebuild. We need a new defence. The 2 guys he's brought in, Cantwell, Raskin. Raskin didn't have the best game at the weekend, but I believe he's playing with an injury. I don't know anything about that. I'm just telling you my opinion. When I watched him playing, the lad looks like he's playing with an injury. They're 2 good signings, and if we're going to have Michael Beale as a manager next season, which it looks like we will, then he's going to need to get a lot more of his signings in and get rid of the dross, because that's when it's becoming dross.
Yeah, there's quite a few comments to get through, so we'll get through them. And we've got a problem with our Facebook, so I think you can only watch us through the website or YouTube at the moment, but we'll catch up with some comments in
I'm
a
just trying to
second.
catch up.
We'll just start.
She's what you doing?
So we'll just start from, Stevie there. So, personally, Stevie saying it was a shocking game. How long can we deal with this? For everyone saying when he needs a transfer window, Bayer Robson's turned the team around with no transfer window. Bayer Robson has won 7 games in a row. That is true. I think
next game's against us.
Yeah, I think that it's slightly.
I think you could. I mean, Beale did come in and win
Yeah.
close to 7 games.
Beale did come in, and his first defeat was at either the cup final or at Parkhead. It was one of those 2 Old Firm games. Okay, so Beale has come in, and he won his first 11 out of 12 games. right? And then obviously we've lost a couple of home games, and we've lost against Aberdeen away, so it's disappointing. We have played well away at Hibs, we have played well away at Hearts, but the big games we've been found wanting. But is that Beale's fault? If Beale has been given a couple of transfer windows and we're still in the same situation by October, November next year, then by all means, yeah, it is his fault. I do think that, but what worried me is that I think after I get back to the game or whatever, and I read what Michael Beale was saying, heard what he was saying, he seemed to think that we only need one or two players. I'm sure his exact quote was, we might bring in one or two players.
He's also said it's going to be the biggest rebuild.
There's 9 players there's still 9 players out of contract. We've got a whole goalkeeping department that might go. We're overloaded in central midfield, even though we've got loads of injuries, and we've got strikers that can't score. We've actually got strikers that don't like to be in the box.
I mean, another thing that I will say is, and I don't like praising Celtic, but see when they've got a shot at goal, they take a shot at goal. Even if it doesn't go on target, they take the shot at goal. We take 3 and 4 touches and either pass the ball, or by the time we shoot, it's too late.
Yeah,
you need a bit of confidence when you're a striker.
On that point side, there was a few times in the second half where, I think it was one where Barisic slips. Definitely not a penalty. I thought it was a dive. I think he just genuinely slipped, which is a different point because we seem to slip all the time.
Yep.
But there was chances. There was like 2 or 3 passages of play in that short space of time where we could have had a shot, no one shot. I think in the first half, Lundstrom runs beats a few players, and then he's running, but there's nobody in the box. There's a lot of times where what I was saying to people on Sunday after the game was that when we attack, we start off. We're actually quite fast going forward. We're quite pacey going forward, and then we just slow down. And I was criticising that, but when you look back at it and watch it, it's because we don't have any strikers. We don't have anyone in the box. So we had to slow it down.
Yep.
The movement's not great. The pace is not great. Our strikers, can't finish. Our defenders can't really defend, and our goalkeepers, don't come for any crosses or anything like that. So
it wouldn't matter how good the midfield are.
Apart from that, a good game.
I mean, it wouldn't matter how good the midfield are from that point of view, because back and forward, it's a shambles. Gordon and Vivian Lewis, you'll probably remember that we spoke at length at Michael Beale's first Old Firm game when I said that he will regret, but he basically shit the bed and he put the defenders on too many subs and tried to defend a lead against Celtic at Ibrox for 5 minutes, and if he'd have just kept pressing, and at that time, and this is when Sakala was playing well, and kept Sakala in his position and not changing him, and went for the kill, had he won that game, the Rangers players would have a different mentality. But I actually think we've got mentality now. Somewhat about Gordon said earlier on, they don't know how to find a way to win. They expect to lose the goals, and Celtic know how to find a way to win.
There's no passion, no heart.
There is comments here coming in, guys.
So Cantwell done nothing but try to big up the fans, and Raskin was shocking. At least 3 from him, he spent it in the players.
I thought Cantwell
Was great.
I would say Cantwell was one of, if not a best player. I don't think he was great, but I think he was the best of a reasonably bad bunch, and I would say he's got pass marks. Raskin, a couple of mistakes. He's probably at fault for the goal alongside Ken.
He was. I just don't think he's fit, Gordon. I've watched him the last few weeks.
But I think Raskin. I think you're right. I think Raskin's done more than enough to show he's a player.
I think it's regardless of whether he's fit or not. It's a mistake that a young player makes.
It was a terrible mistake he made. I'm not giving him pass marks for that, but in general, he's been a good signing.
Yeah.
He'll just keep the comments going. There's only a couple of guys on the comments.
I think you need to put it in perspective. Quality players, you had to spend money. I'm not too disappointed in regard to Cantwell and Raskin. I don't think Cantwell and Raskin are the problem. I think the existing squad's the problem. Frank saying, sorry, Lewis, 1 second. When Fashion missed a sitter, off his beer tap, it was clear to me that it went the wrong way. I think that, whether or not you give Sakala a loan next year for the season and let him concentrate and let him focus on developing his finishing, that's a debate for another time, I guess. But I wouldn't have Sakala at Rangers next season playing. If we keep him on loan somewhere, great. If not, then I would sell him. But who's watching that game and going, right, I'm going to buy Sakala, I'm going to buy Morelos, I'm going to buy Kent.
I mean, an example I'll give you all we can talk about, right? We didn't play awful, and at times we looked as if we could beat them. Had Sakala scored what in my opinion is a tap-in, any good striker scores it and it goes to 1 each, I genuinely believe at that point in the game Rangers would have been on and won it. it can be the difference. But you can't really blame the manager for that, because everybody that's watching this thing just pass the ball into the net.
Yeah.
You've already made the same mistake last month in a major game against Celtic. It's a passing. You've got to have composure. You're training every day of the week. That's what you've got to learn, how to be composed in front of goal. And if he passes that in the net, Rangers are on ascendancy and they've got a great chance of overturning Celtic. When he misses it, every man has thought the same thing. No again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for once though, it's we're not. We made enough chances to win that game comfortably.
Yep.
And I think I don't want to pure praise Celtic, but have they had the chances that we had throughout the game, it would have been about 4-0 Celtic, because they finished their chances and they have threats going forward. And when you have certain players in their squad going on the ball, and even when we go to like Aberdeen or we have Hearts like Shankland and Duke, you've got players that get on the ball and they're just a threat. We don't have that at the moment. We don't have players that just install that fear factor into the opponent.
100%.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's no
I
fear.
really do think we need a captain. We've spoken about that many times. I don't want to keep going on about it, but if you're going to play, and this happened in Europe for us, the only game I gave past marks in Europe was the Napoli game at Ibrox, because I thought at times we were unlucky and they were a proper quality team. However, when you're playing against teams that are your match or better than you, you simply cannot make schoolboy errors and give them a lead. And Rangers do that every big game, and that means that the Rangers team are trying to catch up, and they're playing that game. They're playing a different forum and a different system because of that, and they can't cope with it. They can't seem to cope with it. It isn't working. So major rebuild. And would you want to quickly we'll talk about this? There's obviously been changes at Ibrox in the last couple of weeks. There's a rumour that Andrew Dixon's next to go. So are Rangers in the background? Are they already doing a major rebuild, not on the park but off the park, and is that going to benefit on the park, or are these guys bailing out? What's your opinion?
I think it's good to. I mean, we're not in the transfer window now, but we've got the transfer business in our mind, and we're starting with the transfer business on the side. But we are starting to try and reshape the club into a more, structured organisation that can help us.
Yep.
It can help the manager to achieve what he wants.
I feel what I've heard, I've not read the statement, and no one is going to read it out in a minute, but I feel that Michael Beale is basically, you need to remember, what he says on the television isn't what he says in private. I would like to think he was raging after the game, and you might find that, as I said to you guys in Oswald's, he might be shouting exactly what we're shouting. Sakala, for crying out loud, you can't miss that. You score that, we're back in the game. He maybe feels exactly the way we do, and he can't do anything about it now. He's got to wait to the end of the season. But maybe he's saying, I don't want a director of football that we've got, and I don't want these guys that are bringing the young players through, Craig Mulholland, etc. And maybe he's an influencer and he's got his own guys coming in. And that's just me saying maybe, because I don't have the contacts. But one thing's for sure, 3 and 4 directors leaving the club at such a close space of time, telling me there's something either no right or something major going to happen.
I think something major going to happen.
Sorry, I'm just trying to. The Facebook stream is glitching, etc. So we have got some comments that I'll read out in a minute, but it's just
Is it back on Facebook?
it's glitching, so it's very very poor quality for some reason. We had a
I'll need to find
problem
out
with
what's happening.
Facebook,
I'll need to reboot everything and just take programs out.
so please, you can go through
There
our
it is.
YouTube channel.
On the www.lethavian do this is a big thing to remember.
It's a big
No
moment.
pressure whatsoever.
Spotlights on.
www.thegers.tv.
There you go, and you can watch it there and you won't get any glitz or glitches, or you'll still get dogs panting and puffing.
I was laughing.
So yeah, behind the scenes at Ibrox, obviously new chairman wants his own people there.
It's a show of strength from John Bennett, I think.
I
Yeah.
respect it, and I think that it's trying to reform the club without making it look like something absolutely crazy is going on. Because if you go in one week and you take out every director,
Yeah.
people are going to be looking at
They've
it.
tried to make it look organised.
Yeah, take them one
Yeah.
by one.
You
There's
can't-
obviously a plan in place, and it is a business. At
Uh,
the end of the day,
David Hare's made a comment on Facebook saying that comparing the kind of start of Souness's reign to the start of Beale's reign, and the first thing Souness did was bring in a spine of a team. So
Correct, that's right.
he revitalised the goalkeeping department, defenders and midfielder.
He
and
bought
and
the England
strikers.
goalkeeper, the England right back, the England captain, and then he followed that up with some of the best defenders who won the world beaters, but they done the job. Nobody done. Remember I said when I was in corporate, I seen Marvin Andrews and I said that's who they need. Somebody that just wins the ball in the air and knocks the ball. I'll not swear here like Gers, but he knocks the ball up the end of the park, and if that's taking it up the opposition player out with him, with a bit of power, that's what you need. We're too lacklustre and we're too soft.
I think I was going to use the word timid. Sometimes we can be a bit timid and all over the park. Some players want other players to take more responsibility, and I think it's a systematic of our mentality. I think we've went from being champions to Europa League finalists to runners up in second place, and I think we've kind of at the point now where we're accepting second best, and but I don't think the players. I don't know if the players are actually going out expecting to beat Celtic at the moment. I don't think they are.
No.
Gordon,
And I think they're waiting for something to happen.
I don't think this is something I've asked you to use. Right, you're in competitions for like for your bodybuilding and that, right? If you've got a loser's mentality, can you change it? I don't think you can. I don't think if you accept second
What's
best.
the right coaches? Yeah.
I don't know. Well, these guys have had 2 or 3 years, and
I've
there's no changing.
got two coaches, and like when I have my days, but I need somebody
Remember,
to be an
But
athlete.
do you expect him to finish second or first?
They have not.
So if you expect to second,
Put myself through all
that's
that.
what
to
Gordon's
finish.
saying, because I agree with Gordon here.
Yeah.
But if Gordon, what he's saying, I hope
Yeah.
he's wrong and I hope I'm wrong.
Mhm.
But if these guys do accept second best, Gordon, can you change that?
I'm going to be careful in my answer and say yes or no, yes and no. I think that I think with somebody like Morelos probably not, but I think with somebody like Barisic and Tab I would say yes. But I think what you need to remember is that these guys say somebody like Ryan Kent, he was brought in by Steven Gerrard, who was his coach at Liverpool, and he was a great Gerrard was a great man.
I think Beale might have been one of his coaches as well.
Yeah, they both were. Gerrard was a great manager. And remember, looking back, it's still this Burnley team that played under Gerrard, but they've had this now. Michael Beale's now their third manager in 18 months. They need to, when you get a new manager, you need to get used to his way of playing, his mentality, his coaches, his assistant manager, his tactics, his formation, his style of play, his team talks,
A settling period, majorly.
and that does take time. And when we brought in a new manager in,
We didn't have time.
we didn't have time. Gio's, Ross Wilson's probably brought in the players for Gio, and then in the transfer window in January we waited 3 weeks to bring in Raskin or Cantwell, and that's why they weren't ready for the cup final, because they only had a few games. Whereas
So that's maybe one of the reasons why they get rid of him. Why Beale's wanted rid of him, because of the time.
maybe. But I think it's systematic of the way we've done our business as well over the last couple of years, that we always seem to get into negotiations for weeks and weeks and weeks.
See when we won 55, we took the foot off the pedal and Celtic done the opposite. They went for it. If we can claw the league back next season, Celtic won't take their foot off the pedal. They'll do everything they can to get back in it. That's the difference. Thinking you've succeeded forever after one. Some of these players still live off the back of the 55 titles.
Exactly.
That's in the past.
I think that it's not. Like, I think that the board, it's a loser's mentality from bottom to top. I mean, the board still goes on about us losing in Seville. They're like, oh well, we got to Seville, we lost. We won 55, which fair enough. We went a season invincible, but I would consider that season, in terms of what we should have succeeded, that was a failure. We should have got further in the Europa League, and we should have won the treble. And we were in that season. From what we should have done, we were losers ultimately. Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say, and we'll get your opinions on this, guys, and then we'll read this comment out. A lot of people are saying about the goalkeeping situation, we don't need a goalkeeper, we've got Ross McCrory. My opinion on it is I like the lad, however, I'm saying 3 managers, it might be 4 managers. 3 Rangers managers have had a chance to play the lad, none of them have used him. So that tells me that he is not going to be the Rangers goalkeeper next season. So we need to get somebody in. McLaughlin's gone. I don't know, I've not caught up with the news, but the rumour the day that I saw was McLaughlin's gone.
McLaughlin and Scott Wright are gone.
It looks like McLaughlin and Scott Wright are leaving the club. Again, we've still got the best, but I think we've got a full team almost out of contract at the end of the season.
And injured.
We've still got, you're right, Si, 4 or 5 players injured. We threw on Hadji with 5 minutes to go, whatever. Absolute terrible decision to bring on Hadji with 5 or 6 minutes to go.
Desperation.
and again, I think Hadji will stay. I think will. You look at the club. You look at the club, and you go, there could be 12, 13, 14 players leaving. If those two are going at the moment, Sakala could leave. I don't think we'll see Kemar Roof play for Rangers again.
So that, and also Stephen Davis might not play again.
Stephen Davis won't play.
If that amount of
Hollander.
players leave, Gordon, that's a big rebuild
And you've
because
got
you've got to be
Kamara.
ready.
Well, Kamara probably gets. Kamara wants to leave. I think his heart's in it. You've then got Morelos and Kent.
Yeah.
And then you've got the rest of the players. And you've got McGregor as well. So.
I mean, that's a rebuild that should have been coming for the past 3 seasons.
So they're only going to 6 weeks or 8 weeks before the European games.
It's mismanagement to allow this to happen to the club. It's absolutely criminal that there's 8 players that are worth a lot of money
Out
out of contract. I think it's absolutely shocking that we've allowed the decision. And obviously hindsight's 2020, but in the summer. Last summer, we should have decided to sell Kent and Morelos, right? Yeah. And we haven't done that. We've allowed the contracts to expire. I don't care who disagrees with this. Kent is, when he's on top, when he's on at least, I would say 80% form that he can play. He's a £10 million player. Morelos, when he's on 80% he's top form, he's a £10 million player. So we've allowed basically £20 million worth of talent to become horrific.
Before we go any further, we're going to read the comments in a minute. Let's get this. We've not done the statement because this guy Craig Mulholland's left today. We're talking about the rebuild. We're talking about the youth development.
Do you want me to read it?
Man, I've not read it, but as you say, I know we're not too impressed with it, but I can't see it because I put my specs up there. So
right, okay.
This is Rangers' official statement.
It is. So Rangers today confirm that Academy Director Craig Mulholland has decided to leave the club at the end of the season. The 45-year-old played a huge role in transforming the club's youth setup into a truly elite programme, which is now comparable with that of other top European clubs. He joined the Light Blues in 2003 initially as a football community manager and held various roles before becoming the head of academy in 2015. In that time, the club have developed talents such as Nathan Patterson, Billy Gilmore, Robert McGrory, Leon King, Alex Lowry and Adam Devine. And he said his comment today was that I have loved in my 20 years working at the club that I had grown up with, and in particular the last 8 leading the Academy B team, also the women's teams. However, in all of his leadership positions, sometimes knowing when the right time to move on is as important in deciding which opportunities to take.
Thoughts, guys?
I think that one of the things that strikes me is
The players.
That and the comparable with that of top European clubs. The list of players, we've got Nathan Patterson and Billy Gilmore, fair enough. Top Premier League, well, they're playing in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Robbie McCrory
Doesn't get a game.
hasn't kicked on. Adam Devine has played about 5 games for the first team.
Don't even think he's in the squad anymore.
Yep. Leon King and Alex Lowry don't get the game time that they deserve.
No.
That's not necessarily his fault though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But
is it that really that many players to have came through? Because if you remember when Rangers built Auchenhowie, it was built because they didn't want to be spending money too much in transfers, and the future was going to be, again, this is 30 years ago, but it was going to be, we were going to bring young players through and it was going to be the best academy in Scotland. Has it really worked? Because every time it doesn't work, we get told it's starting again. That's not very impressive. And another thing, I might sound sexist here, and I hope I don't. I'm just trying to be a realist here, and Vivian will probably agree with me, but see right now, most Rangers supporters don't really care what he done with the ladies team. If we're being 100% honest.
Is it? Do you know, seeing I read that, that's exactly what...
Yeah, I know it might, if you're a women's football player, I get the fact that it might sound bad, and I've done interviews with some of the girls from it.
It's irrelevant.
But it's irrelevant to the job that he's done, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that if you look at that list of players, and you probably had a couple others onto it as well, he's been responsible for bringing the players on and getting them to the talent that they are. It's then not. I believe it's not his fault that the management team haven't then taken the talent and used it to the best of their ability.
of course,
I mean, you had Nathan Patterson. I mean, it's not Craig Mulholland's fault that the captain is a right back that scores 100 goals. Then couldn't fit Patterson in the team. Yeah. Again, with Leon King, you've got Barisic, and they brought in this Ridvan and whatever, 5 million, and you've got Suter coming in as well, defenders coming in. So the players are there, but for some reason we're not trusting them to, or we're not giving them the opportunity because, you know, we've not had a chance to, because the pressure on Gerrard was for 55. Gio's then came in and said he can't risk playing the youngsters because.
And when he did, Leon King was rushed in, and it wasn't. You couldn't criticise Leon King for the Champions League because it was a young boy playing in a man's game, and all the players struggled with that.
And then Michael and obviously Michael Beale's come in, and these boys not had Patterson, obviously he's not at Gilmore, but you know, there's been injuries as well, which has stopped. Lowry's been out for most for the last 3 months, so he's not given a chance. And you've got Barisic and Ridvan that can play Devine's position or Leon King's position. So I think that he's done a good job, and it's strange that if you look at the youngsters coming through in the first team, he's probably done a better job than, you know, the first team managers and developing talent. So for me, it's a strange one.
Yeah. The other thing that I would ask the question, you guys, is Craig Mulholland has left, and we've been told it's a massive rebuild is taking place behind the scenes. So that tells me that the man that's going to come in, every time you get one of these guys, if you look back at the history since Hawking, how we get told they're a master at youth development. It's always the same thing we get told, and none of them seem to be a master at the craft. Whoever's going to replace them is going to have to be much better, and going to have to be able to attract bigger names in the youth development to make it succeed. Because see, if they don't, they as well not having a training academy. If you're only going to bring 2 players, maybe 3 every 10 years, you as well just no bothering with it.
You need to get the right manager in, you need to get the right coaches in as well. So you need to get the right person in charge. Craig Holland obviously has been, and you have to get the right coaches in as well. So you have to have the right, you know, technical coaches that can develop the players. I would like to see more investment in that particularly, but
that's what I'm saying. You either invest in it, you do it properly. But if you're not going to do it properly and it's only sound bites, you would be as well just letting the players develop at other clubs and signing them later on.
Look at the players we brought in that are, you know, about, you know, are reasonably young. So we've got Tillman, Sakala, and Matondo, who are reasonably young, still developing. Now, are they a better player now than they were a year ago?
That's true.
Probably not. But these players, like Lowry, are getting better every year. So for me, that says that Craig Holland's done a good job. But for some reason, they're not getting the game time.
So I'm going to do the comments. Before I go into the comments again, I'm just going to ask you to sum this up. I believe that we don't have a PR department anymore. We get rid of a PR man. Are we really happy with that statement? Does it really fill you with confidence?
No.
To me, it doesn't.
No. It's very mundane.
Trying to
it's almost
paper over the cracks.
It's almost like we'll need to put a statement out. Well, what we're going to write.
Yeah.
They couldn't copy and paste the last couple, so they changed it.
Again, there's no passion.
There's no passion. There's no real explanation of why he's leaving. There's no reason. There's no explanation of who's coming in for it. That's a concern with me. I mean, Rangers PR is gone. It's non-existent. They don't seem to want to have a PR. They don't want to communicate with the fans. Now, Gordon made a comment to me just before the show started tonight. They took season ticket money today. Is that right?
Well, they have for me, aye.
I'll be bloody right. So you think they would be trying to... If I was a PR man, I would be trying to say to the fans, you know what? It's been a terrible season, but you're still the greatest fans in the world. You're loyal. We thank you. I would have the club saying we're going to do something for you. All they're doing is offering you tickets now for the Old Firm game because they're VIP guests, they're sponsors, and the Fat Cats don't want to go. So all of a sudden, the fans that they didn't want to be back to for the European final, and the fans that don't communicate with are important again. That doesn't fill me with confidence. Let's go to the comments, guys. Even the dog's moaning, I know. We've got the Facebook guys. Thanks to the Facebook guys for coming back. We appreciate it.
A couple of people commented that we got rid of Katic and Balogun. Again, they're not particularly great technical players, but you know, I believe Katic certainly couldn't be any worse than Davis or Suter. John Morris is making the point that we brought in Chris Woods, Colin West to the Butcher, etc. I think it's a little bit different because at that time, correct me if I'm wrong, Simon, but these players wanted to come because there was an English football ban, European football for a couple of years.
And Souness had just came the manager of Rangers, and Rangers at the time had a lot of money.
So, slightly different circumstances, but I get the
they just point.
where are we going wrong? So Stevie's asking, we have been Europa League finalists in the last 12 months. Where are we going wrong?
It's true, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
There's something. I've been saying this for a
right.
couple of years. There's something not right at
It's
the
as if
club.
they're unhappy.
I don't know if they're all pulling together or they're all going different directions. You know, were Gio and Gerrard left because there wasn't any money to spend. Then Gio's come in. We have spent a lot of money, but who spent it? It's been Ross Wilson, it's been Gio. Now Michael Beale's come in and Ross Wilson's away and the chairman's away and the academy director's away.
Just to comment on that for a second, Gordon, because it's great points you're making, right? This all comes back to Malmo. If you remember when Rangers played Malmo, we had Steven Gerrard who wanted to rebuild the team before we played Malmo for the Champions League, and our chairman wanted to wait to win the game and then build it, and that meant that we lost Steven Gerrard. Gerrard didn't become an anti-Rangers guy, he just wanted to leave overnight for no reason. Things happened behind the scenes. The invincible season they had Rangers playing some outstanding football. Douglas Park, the then chairman, and our board should have backed him more, but they tried to do it the safe way by hoping we would beat Malmo and then putting the money out, and that cost us our manager.
You can't stand still in a football club. You always have to evolve a little bit, and you always have to bring in one or two players. Unfortunately, Celtic realised that and brought in, they brought in Jota and Carlton Vickers on loan. Then they bought them, and that was it just shows you what our decisions have come back to haunt us, because we've brought in players for positions we don't need. We brought in Matondo, we brought in Ridvan, Yilmaz, we brought in players we don't really need. We brought in another midfielder, and we've just replaced we haven't. I don't think we've improved, and the players that have been there have got worse for me. Like Kent and Morelos have got worse.
Just Wilson, remember this, we were talking off air about it as well. We're now being linked with guys again who are not playing regular first team football, who are injury prone players with a record of being injured on a regular basis, and they're free transfers.
So more comments. Possibly us in that season will be better. We have to back Beale. I think Michael Beale. I think we have to back Beale in the summer. And I think that we have to improve. I just can't believe that we've got to a situation where we've allowed half of our first team to be out of contract and the other half injured. I just don't understand it.
I do remember. I don't know if you remember when we won 55. Steven Gerrard in one of his interviews that he was doing for Rangers TV after we won 55 said we need to fix the holes in the roof while it's still sunny.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that was
This is pre-Malmo.
This is pre-Malmo. It was a dig at the board to take back from financially.
And if you remember, at the same time, John Bennett and Douglas Park were interviewed that same night. And they were telling you how much they were going to back the manager to the hilt, and they didn't. It's as simple as that. They let him down. And when you make one mistake, there's only one show in town. It's Old Firm. If you don't beat Celtic, then you're not going to be the manager of Rangers. And if you can't score against Celtic, you shouldn't be the striker. That's how it works.
It's a comment for Andrew Graham saying why play Kent and Alfie in the first place. Well, quite frankly, well,
it's as if he's got favourites.
Well, then who do you play? So you've got Kovac, who's injured.
That's true.
You've got Sakala, who obviously is a worse striker than Alfie because that's what he said he missed. And you've got Matondo, who had maybe started to show a little bit of promise again in the last couple of weeks, but it's not showed anything all season really. So who do you play and who do you play instead?
I think in the last. But I mean, how many games we got left? 4 or 5?
4.
Yeah, I think it's time to change it now, right? But I do agree with. See the question that Gordon's asking. This is what I'm saying. Maybe off air. See if you maybe met Michael Beale and you knew him, right? He's probably sitting in a bar somewhere on a Sunday night going, "Who do I play? I can't play that. I can't play. He's not going. I'm not going to swear. I can't play Sakala. Look at the Saturday he misses. I can't play him. I've got to play Morelos. Morelos doesn't want to be there. Kovac's no fit, so maybe he's as angry.
Roof's not fit as well.
Roof's not fit. He's maybe as angry as we are.
Yeah.
I hope he is.
100%. I think that's the case.
We've got a great chance to put some faith in the academy boys. We've got players like Lowry, Zach Lovelace, and that's the thing. You've got a 17-year-old who's getting put in contention for the striker spot for Rangers. Which is quite worrying.
But Derek Johnson made his debut as a 16-year-old against Celtic, scored the winner. Billy McNeil, Celtic's greatest ever, or one of their greatest ever defenders, he beat him in the air. Rangers won the cup. That's what happens when you put faith in your prospects in the future. If Lovelace doesn't get a chance this season, we've won nothing, no cups left. If he doesn't get a chance now, his agent must be saying, you're not getting a chance.
But then what if we do give the youngsters a chance and then, you know, Celtic come to Ibrox and God forbid beat us again, then Michael Beale's not
They've
won.
beat us 5 times already, it doesn't matter.
But
Doesn't matter if we don't experiment.
you're saying it doesn't matter, but it will matter because that's what done for Gio. Gio done it with an open game in 4 or 5, and you know that's what's got him the boot. So how long do you give Michael? That's why managers at Rangers probably don't take the chance with the youngsters
They're
sometimes
terrified, I get that.
because they don't want. Imagine we played Lowry,
No, I'm not saying play them all, but you could
Divine, King, whatever, right?
too many to drop, too
Right.
many to play right. But let's break it down right. Let's say
They give, like, Lovely
let's say
30
Lovelace
minutes.
starts right and Morelos is on the bench. If Lovelace has a good game and Morelos doesn't come on, everybody's happy. See if the boy's not good enough and you bring Morelos on, you can then say the manager's tried. We can see what he's trying to do. He's as frustrated he does. However,
But he's not.
there's nothing else he can do. But if he doesn't change it, what you're saying to yourself is, how long are we going to watch this dross? Aberdeen are coming to Ibrox next week,
Oh, not Sunday.
and this week, and they're thinking they're going to kind of right before it goes.
That's right.
Probably
That
they'll
shouldn't
think
be
they'll get a
the
chance.
I know.
But then, one second, Liz, sorry, the other side of the coin
Echo.
is that's anonymous, so we'll probably patch it. And unless it's actually somebody's name.
Nah, so if you're going to call, we need the last 3 digits. We don't have that now.
So what I would say as well is, but what if Michael Beale wants Morelos to leave, but then for the last 5 games he drops Morelos for a 17-year-old, who's then going to come in for Morelos, and then Michael Beale could be saddled with a player he doesn't want next season?
Mark's saying that YouTube's better than Facebook for anybody watching. We're opening the phone lines up anyway. We'll quickly put the jingle in for the phone, but for the calls, you see it. Geese a breather for a few seconds. And we'll do 10 minutes, 15 maybe.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We've got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. The Gers TV. Hit it.
I think we're done, so we didn't manage to keep quiet there, which
Yeah.
is good.
David,
I
if you
just-
give us a call, what's the phone number? The pressure is on.
No. 0141.
I can't see it, that's what I'm asking you.
Is it
319.
319?
30.
There you go.
There we go.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I disagree with you. I don't agree with just throwing the youngsters on for the last 5 games of the season, because then what if he does that and then we struggle to win any of these games, and then you go into the pre-season and you've got absolutely zero confidence, and then you maybe get a draw against Celtic Ibrox or God forbid lose the game.
I just think
If
that
they're
So,
not good
I
enough,
mean,
well, if
like-
they're not good enough, then see the pre-season. If the boys are not good enough, then get rid of them and get boys in that are good
But then
enough.
on the other side, another argument for me not playing them is, do you bring them into a losing team? So
Guys, if
how's that going to help them?
Aye, if anybody's calling in, if you don't give us the last 3 digits, you can't call. You know the
I
rules.
just think that there's seriously an issue with the networking from our youth team to our first team.
2 seconds, Gordon, can you do me a favour? Just dawned on me, they might be putting the 3 digits up on Facebook.
What I was saying, okay.
Yes, I just think that, you know, there is a mentality thing that we should have a network club in like a lower league like League 2 that we can send our players to ready made. I know we have the B team, but there is a mentality thing with the B team's a good way to find players that are promising.
Yeah.
But when your best
How many's ever
prospects,
come out yet?
it's the thing that your best prospects are playing in the B team. Being labelled as the B team is never a good thing. You want to
Yeah.
be playing for the first
Yeah.
team. So going to a League 2 team in Scotland and playing for the first team just as a network club.
But as we're saying, Rangers, if they're going to take it seriously, we're going to have to get the youth development right. So these guys that are coming in behind the scenes, I don't know who's going to come in these positions, but we need to get the right men, we need to get the right people.
Yeah. I've got a couple of comments on Facebook. Sorry for the guys that have been watching, for everyone that's been watching on Facebook, we have the problems, right? So you can obviously watch us through YouTube and through our website. So David Stewart saying the board's number back to manager, and Lovelace has to play or he's off. Give youth a chance. Hi to Donna Robertson as well, just a quick hi. And yeah, a few people were saying that the Facebook's not really working properly. We are aware of that, so you can watch through our YouTube channel, which a lot of people are doing, obviously.
To check something, must be around with Wi-Fi connection or something.
So that's where we are basically. So
you can give us a call, guys, if you want. It's 0141.
519. No, 319.
You interrupt me and then get it right. Yeah, I can't remember the last part. 5230, I can't see it. I'm not listening.
5230.
It's
0141 319 5230.
You can give us a wee call. We just need the last 3 digits, because if we don't have the last 3 digits, you might not be one of the chosen few. In that case, you won't be
speaking
coming
about that, just to let you know that this is Tuesday. I keep thinking it's Monday, but then I remember I had Monday off. Thank God, basically. That's all
So
I
you
can say.
you forgot to remember what you remembered.
No, I forgot that. So, I think we might need to do the old block for this person.
Aye, but you seen Friday night was
Friday night's coming up. We've got a big,
Yeah.
big event. So to put us all back into perspective and to cheer us all up, at Ibrox Park on Friday night, the Gers TV will be hosting an absolutely fantastic night for the Crown's coronation. We've been selling tickets, so I think we're sold out now, unfortunately, for anybody watching.
sold out, yeah.
Completely sold out, and we've got a fantastic itinerary, so obviously that should take our minds off a bit, for the night anyway. That should take our nights off. I should take our minds off the league campaign this
For
season.
anyone that doesn't know what we're doing, we'll just get a wee promotion for it anyway, because it's going to be a great night. We're going to have Ibrox Stadium from just after 6 o'clock at night. We're going to be going down the tunnel, probably get a game the way it's going.
Right, be careful, 'cause you might get hooked into the team.
Photographs at the pitch side, photographs in the dugout, in the stand. I'm going to try and get to the director's box for photographs. We'll be in Ibrox, the main stand area, for about 45 minutes to an hour. You'll get pictures in the blue room, in the trophy room, and I've got a professional photographer coming as well, and he's going to be able to get you pictures, and we'll have it online as well.
His name's Lewis.
That's all happening. As well as that, after that, around about 7:30, we'll be in the Ibrox suite, the other side of the stadium, where you'll be looking onto the park all night. We're going to have a fantastic DJ Stevie Abercrombie, who's DJ'd at all our events this last year.
Thank you, Stevie.
Outstanding. I've also not told you this, got some members of the military coming along. If you like a man in uniform. We've got the military coming along.
Who are you asking there?
I don't know, but Lewis is coming now.
No, he likes him after Nuremberg.
We've got the armed forces coming along for it. We're going to go to 1:45 in the morning. We have a hot buffet. We've got fantastic raffle prizes. And the biggest thing about it all, it's been a hard season, it's been a hard few months, and I'm going to take a yellow card for this. We're going to get pissed. We'd love to see you there on Friday night, but it's sold out, so if you don't have a ticket, what you can do is join our Patreon site and you'll be able to get tickets before everyone else for the next event we'll be planning soon. And also Rangers have asked me about doing a Christmas night in Ibrox, so we'll consider that, as long as we don't wreck a show Friday.
I know. Well, I'm staying sober.
So that's the good news. So we're all looking forward to it, guys.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to take our mind off it. So, we've hit 8 o'clock. Should we wrap it up? We've been on for
I think
slightly
we've
more
said
than
enough
usual.
about the weekend's events.
Apologies about the stream on Facebook, we'll all get that sorted.
For the next time. Please, in the meantime, check out our website, www.thegers.tv.
And if you can, watch the channel through that. You can watch it live through there, and that means you'll get a better feed with no buffers. Not buffers, buffers.
So, obviously, we're still Rangers fans, we're still proud of our club, we'll still support them. Will we take Duncan's call
Donkey's quickly
quickly?
calling, I catch up
Yeah,
before it
okay.
goes. Tonight, Toronto, how you doing, Neil? Oh, hi, Duncan, you've got the phone on, mate?
What you say?
Ask me, mate, we can hear us in the background, though.
Oh, sorry, I've just wasted it up, sorry.
It's done
No
now, it's
problem,
fine.
mate.
Listen, I just came in for a wee, just a wee quick burst at the end here, man. It's just, there's so much depression going about after that game, but
Yeah.
there's no that far behind them, you know what I mean?
It was just a kick in the gillies, yeah.
I'm not taking long, mate. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Once MB gets his own players in.
So you confident of a good pre-season build-up?
Is that right?
Are you confident in the pre-season then that he's going to be able to build his own team?
Oh, aye, definitely. You know what I mean? He's only had that one shot at it and he's brought in 2 grand players, so...
Well, but what's your opinion,
I'm totally
Duncan?
confident.
Duncan,
Good
what's your
point.
opinion behind the scenes with the directors and different members of staff leaving?
Well, I don't know that much about that, to be honest. You know, I don't really focus on that side.
Yeah.
But for me, I can see it. You know, I can see it turning. We just need to have faith in Michael Beale. He's a man.
Fair enough. I think I still agree with that, Duncan. I still think we have to have confidence in him. I think he's going to be a good manager. We just have to give him that time, but it's difficult because football in this day and age is not a patient sport.
That's true. But the one thing is true. But the one thing you can guarantee is the Rangers support will back the club no matter what.
Yep.
Aye. I mean, I've seen a lot of people talking crap, but you know that.
We're not talking about us.
You know that.
Aye.
You know, that's rubbish.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of positions we need sort of. It's not that, you know, 9 out of 11 have to leave.
Duncan, see what you said there. I said earlier on, see if Sakala scores that tap in, we're having a different conversation tonight.
Exactly. You know, and who had the post? I can't remember now.
Tavernier or Arfield? Tavernier.
Aye. Taff had a great game, by the way. I thought.
Aye, and I mean, if that goes in, do you know what I mean? I think Rangers would have said that we would have went on to win the game, but you can't miss chance. See, like that chance, I'm not trying to single out Sakala, right, Duncan, but see, in professional football, if you miss that once, you remember it for the rest of your life. To miss a chance like that so obvious in front of goal when you've just done it a month earlier is criminal.
Yeah.
Aye, I know. That's his problem, Sakala, man. He just can't turn decent chances in, you know, but anyway, Sakala, to my mind, he's not a top player, you know. I mean, he's a good sub.
Aye.
That's as far as I've got him, you know.
We shouldn't be relying on Sakala, but see, with 15 minutes to go, we were relying on him. That was my last hope. Sakala and Hadji, and if that's my last hope, then that's why we've got trouble.
No, I don't know about Hadji. I'm hoping Hadji's going to come good, but you need to give the boy a chance, you know.
He's needing a good pre-season. I just don't think right now he's ready for first team football yet.
I couldn't hear you there, sorry.
He probably needs a good pre-season.
Aye. He needs a run, definitely, you know. But I think we should be optimistic. That's the main thing. You know, I'm sure that Michael Beale could design a few good players. Look at the two players he's brought in.
I agree with that.
If he knows guys like that, then you know, I mean, I'll not be long before we're telling them. You know what I mean?
Hope so. I think you might be right, but I think you're right. But we're going to have faith in them. We don't have a choice.
Yeah, but I think that if we don't beat,
I do.
I think we've still got confidence in Michael Beale. But I think if we lose the next Old Firm game as well, then the first Old Firm game of the new season is going to be the pressure cooker.
But the other thing is, Duncan and guys, I think you might find in private that Michael Beale's lost faith in a few of his favourites. I've seen the word favourites used a few times tonight, and I think after his interview, I think he's realised that his favourites, he's given them too much faith, and they've let him down.
Well, one wee thing I'm going to say about that, man, I know he's running out of time. Kent's getting a lot of stick now, but I think he's been carrying an injury for a while.
Well,
and I think Michael Beale does kind of overrate him, if you know what I mean. And put him in there, I don't think he was anywhere near fit.
If he's carrying an injury, and we get told by Lundstrom a few months ago, a few players carried an injury all the first half of the season. That's not right. They shouldn't be doing this. That's bad management from the medical side of the club, I would say.
Well, that needs an overhaul. Definitely, we need to get that sorted.
Aye, I mean, you could bring in Dr. Death and you would have a better injury team. The specialist is...
Dr. Death.
No, we need a major change in the background team. You know, we need to bring in real professionals, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hopefully, here's hope Michael Beale has got the right people lined up, and that's why we're seeing changes at the club then.
I hope so.
I think so.
Yeah,
I hope so, guys. Aye.
Good call again, mate.
I'm optimistic. I know it's a downer getting beat with them, but hey, let's look forward. We'll do it.
Cool.
If everyone doesn't even know what you're talking about, should drink that many, was it Bacardi Breezers you were on, or the gins after the game?
Red Raskins. Okay, Dunk, thanks very much for the call. Take care.
Good call, guys. So you can. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Take care.
So just to be a reminder, guys, you can call our show, but if you want to call in the future, all we require is if you've not called before, you give us 3 digits. If you don't do that, you can't call the show. It's been a great night.
Yep. Thanks very much for your company tonight. We've got a great night to look forward to at Ibrox. So please join us there or check us out on the website. And always remember, we are
the people.